Not that long ago, former U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley had some pretty harsh words for Donald Trump. In fact, she was furious at his actions following the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol by his supporters. But this week, in fact, Monday, she came out, did a little press conference, and was asked point blank, would you support Donald Trump if he ran for president in 2024? And without hesitation, without thinking about it, she said unequivocally, yes. Yes, she would. In fact, here is her full statement. Yes, I would not run if President Trump ran, and I would talk to him about it, and I would talk to him about that. That's something that we will have a conversation about at some point. So not only would she absolutely unequivocally support him if he ran for president, but even if he's thinking about running, then she's not. You know, she has to go, based on her statement, talk to him, essentially get his permission to run for president in 2024. Now, Nikki Haley's name, for those of you that haven't been paying too much attention to this, because 2024 is a long ways away, but Haley's name is one of the few that have been kicking around along with Cruz and Hawley and Cotton. But her name as a potential presidential candidate has been out there for a very long time. Former governor of South Carolina, first female governor of South Carolina, she was once viewed as a rather, kind of middle-of-the-road traditional conservative, but ever since she fell in ranks with Trump, she's kind of gone a little extreme when she feels it's necessary. And that brings us back to the other part of the story. As I mentioned, a couple months ago, she had nothing but contempt for Donald Trump. This is what she said in a long interview with Politico. She said, "When I tell you I'm angry, it's an understatement. Mike has been nothing but loyal to that man." Talking about former Vice President Mike Pence being loyal to Donald Trump. "He's been nothing but a good friend of that man. I am so disappointed in the fact that despite the loyalty and friendship he had with Mike Pence, that he would do that to him. Like, I'm disgusted by it. I think he's going to find himself further and further isolated. I think his business is suffering at this point. I think he's lost any sort of political viability he was going to have. I think he's lost his social media, which meant the world to him. I mean, I think he's lost the things that really could have kept him moving." And she continues, "We need to acknowledge he let us down. He went down a path he shouldn't have, and we shouldn't have followed him, and we shouldn't have listened to him. And we can't let that ever happen again." We can't let that ever happen again, she says, as she this week is telling us, like, oh, I'll listen to him. I'll follow him. Where's he going? I'm going. I'm in. I'm totally on board. Whatever this guy wants, I'm going to do it. Nikki Haley tells us this week after, again, just telling us, like, no, don't listen to him. Don't follow him. We made a mistake by doing that. What a coward, right? The Politico piece, by the way, where she gave that interview, had also mentioned the fact that she has been a very wishy-washy politician. She changes her views, she changes her statements, she changes the way she sees things based on what she perceives to be politically expedient at the time. Meaning, if she thinks it's going to gain her support, she'll go with it. If she thinks it's over here, she'll go with that. She has no real beliefs one way or the other. She waits to see which way the wind is going to blow. And it's really not working out that well for her, is it? In all the polls, by the way, that have come out about potential GOP nominees in 2024, Nikki Haley is not scoring very well. And not having a firm position, not having a real record of consistency, believe it or not, folks, that really does hurt you with American voters. And her very quick little flip-flop here from saying we shouldn't have listened to Trump to I'm only going to listen to Trump, I don't imagine that's going to help win her any favor in 2024.